Welcome back, football fans. It is game week 14 already. Game week 13's just finished. We're back here because the festive season is well and truly underway. Here's a look at the selections that I've put together. I've got a couple of selections, all backed by data using tools that you can use as well. Stay tuned for these selections and, of course, all of the insights around them. We're also going to do man versus machine in this episode, so stay tuned for that. And well done if you were on these from the previous video. Two winners, two really nice winners actually. Phil Foden turned up and understood the assignment. Scored, was it after a minute or two? Well done, as Will would say from the In-Betweeners. Thanks, Phil. And finally, well done to this user on YouTube. You have won a month of OddAlerts Pro. I will be in touch with you. This comment correctly predicting the Chelsea-Arsenal score. Many of you actually guessed 1-1. It was a very, very common prediction. And I've got a question for you now, and I'm feeling festive, I'm feeling jolly and generous. And I'm going to do this for every single video in December. Give away a month of OddAlerts Pro. And I'm going to make it real easy for you because I've got a question. What's the score going to be tonight? Or what is your general prediction for Newcastle against Tottenham? Can Tottenham bounce back from what has been a horrible month? Really, one of the worst months in Thomas Frank's career, no doubt about that. Can they bounce back? Can they get a victory? What's the score going to be? Who's going to score? Any prediction for Tottenham at Newcastle is automatically entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. And well done again to that user for winning from the previous video. Right, enough of the admin. Let's get into the predictions. So here's a look at the games for Tuesday just above my head, and of course we've got the fixture here to the right. We're going to start with Bournemouth against Everton. Just to go through the fixtures quickly, we have Fulham against Manchester City. Fulham looking confident at the moment, aren't they? And then the big one, Newcastle hosting Spurs. So we start with Bournemouth against Everton, and actually Bournemouth have scored in 8 of the last 10 games, whilst Everton have managed just 8 goals across their last 10 games. For me, they are crying out for a proper centre-forward in January. And what's worse for Everton and Everton fans, if we look at shots on target 4 here on the Football Form Guide, link in the description, we have to scroll all the way to the bottom to see Everton 13 shots on target in their last 6 games. And look at Bournemouth there. For comparison, 34. When you see the odds for Bournemouth in a minute, I think you'll be quite surprised. Bournemouth's games recently have been filled with goals, as we can see here by looking at the results tab. 7 of their last 10 games have gone over 2.5 goals. And it is a marginal value bet for tonight as well, over 2.5 goals. 9 goals conceded in the last 3 games for Bournemouth is a worrying drop-off from their early season form where they were hardly giving up any chances to their opponents. You can see just 2 clean sheets now since the end of August. Bournemouth tops the charts for XG across the last 6 games. Brentford and Bournemouth top of the pile. Absolutely interesting there. Tonight's opponents, Everton, 1.09 per game. That puts them 17th in this table across the last 6 games. No team has received more cards than Bournemouth this season, 35 overall, and in the last 6 games, 19 received. Everton just 8 in that same period. But what is really interesting here is if we go to fouls committed and try and find Bournemouth, they are 18th across the same period. 55 fouls across the last 6 games. So this says to me that the fouls they do commit are tactical fouls, quite cynical fouls, part of a tactical system designed to stop the team progressing. So they are picking up cards for not many fouls. Both teams come into this with negative goal difference overall in the Premier League this season, which is quite interesting. But if we switch this to the home form for Bournemouth, it does get quite a bit better. They've conceded just 4 goals at home, 0.67 per game. Now, remember all what I've said here, all of the data around goals conceded, goals scored, XG, shots on target. Now let me take you to a brand new page, a Premier League value bets page, where we can see there is one for tonight, and it looks very, very enticing. Yes, so this is the new Premier League value bets page. You can actually access it for any football league in the world. Go to oddalerts.com/leagues, find the league that you want to look at, and then there will be a value bets tab now added. So we can see here, Bournemouth, Everton, half-time result, 15% value. The full-time result, over evens, our probability model has implied odds of 1.88, which seems about right, given all of the data that we've just looked at. Basic data, really, that is available on OddAlerts for free that you can check out and do as part of your research. 11% value, Bournemouth to win, over evens. I'm really liking it. What about you? Let me know in the comments, of course. And you can see there's value bets for quite a few games coming up. The away win is a value bet based on the model for Tottenham. I won't be taking that one. Next up, Fulham against Manchester City, 15th against 2nd here. Fulham are 7-1-2 in their last 10 home games, and you can see their form is quite good at this moment in time. This goes back into last season where they did lose at home. The last game of last season at home was a 2-0 defeat to Manchester City. Our probability model is giving them a 27.2% chance compared to the 19% chance implied from the bookmakers. So there is a 42.7% edge if you want to take Fulham to win this game. It will have popped up, no doubt, on many value bet settings. 5.3 is the peak for Fulham to win this one. And for Manchester City, they've failed to score in just 2 of the Premier League games that they've played this season. They have 21 goals in their last 10 games in all competitions, and they have scored in 9 of their last 10 games played as well. And incidentally, a victory tonight could put them within 2 points of Arsenal, who host Brentford tomorrow. If you want a video tomorrow, remember, hit the like button and get your comments in. And if we hit 1,000 likes, I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We looked briefly at shots on target on the Football Form Guide before, and we can now check it out again because no team is having more shots on target than Manchester City at this moment in time. Across the last 6 games, 45 shots on target. And again, that just, look at that, 13. I'm sorry, but Everton fans, they've got every right to be unhappy, really, they do. City have probably had 13 shots on target in a single game. 32 for Fulham, incidentally, which puts them 8th, so quite respectable. If corners are your thing, I know many of you do love corners, you can see that Man City have won 46 corners across the last 6 games compared to the 36 of Fulham. Manchester City, 6 more corners than any other team in the Premier League. Jumping back to the results, we can see that it's 3 wins in the last 4 games, just 1 defeat in the last 5, of course, for Fulham, who do look to be playing with real confidence, scoring in the majority of games that they play. Can they score against Manchester City tonight? Well, we are going to jump back to the brand new page, the Premier League Value Bets page, link in the description if you want to check this one out. And we can see BTTS Yes is a value bet at 1.7, 5.59% value. We give it a 62% rating, so implied odds of 1.61. And finally, on this game, we take a look at Manchester City to see that they have conceded in 4 of the last 5 Premier League games. They conceded against Leverkusen, of course, as well. 2 goals conceded against Leeds and 2 against Newcastle. And for Fulham, in terms of goals scored, they have failed to score in just 3 games this season: away at Everton, at home to Arsenal, and away to Chelsea. So the only home game where they did not score was against Arsenal, which that's fair enough, isn't it, really? So before we put together our selections for those 2 games, just a quick plug to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. If you want to see a video tomorrow, 1,000 likes is the target. Right, let's put together some selections and then we'll check out Newcastle against Tottenham. So here is the first selection. It is a double, and it is pretty simple, and it is based on our probability model, both value bets here. Bournemouth to win against Everton. Based on the data, I think that is a great price. I know Bournemouth have been conceding goals lately, but they're playing Everton, for Christ's sakes. 2.15. And then BTTS in the Fulham City game. This really does depend on how much you value and rate Fulham at this moment in time. I think they really are looking quite confident at the moment. And City, they gave a couple of really soft goals away to Leeds at the weekend. City are always going to be able to score in games. And I think this season they've already shown that they need to score a few goals in order to win games because they are a bit leaky at the moment. So BTTS at 1.7 there is also a value bet. 3.65. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments and let me know what you're on tonight for these trio of games, the final one of which we are going to check out now. Newcastle hosting Spurs. Now, I think there's only one place to start here, and it is with Tottenham, because Thomas Frank is under serious pressure. I mean, he is going to be feeling the heat. This is not a game he wants to go up to Newcastle and play at St James's Park, because the way they played against Fulham and the way they've been playing recently at the back, lack of commitment all over the place, players not looking like they know what they're doing or where to be. You don't want to play against Newcastle at St James's. Now, I just wanted to showcase and highlight, Spurs fans, how bad their November was. We can actually see here, at the end of October, they lost to Newcastle at Newcastle 2-0. Could we see a repeat of that? So November looks like this for Tottenham. They lost to Chelsea, abject performance, hardly created a chance, lowest recorded XG for some time for Tottenham. They beat Copenhagen in the Champions League. They should be beating Copenhagen in the Champions League, no doubt about that. They drew with Manchester United. They lost to Arsenal. They lost to Fulham. They scored 3 at Paris Saint-Germain, and still conceded 5. It's a really, really tough time for Thomas Frank, probably the toughest time in his career so far. Can he get out of it? Can he get a win tonight? It's going to be tough. At the weekend, Fulham utilised Raul Jimenez beautifully. If you watch the first half of that game, they lofted it up to him. He was able to flick it onto someone who was around him. It was well coordinated, and it just missed out a few. It just got them facing Spurs' back line so quickly, and Spurs really couldn't deal with it. And I think if you've got Voltemada, and then you've got Barnes, Gordon, Murphy, whoever starts in that game around him, Eddie Howe will certainly look to emulate that, because if Fulham can do it, Newcastle can definitely do it, and look to start quickly and put real pressure on Spurs and get at that defence as quickly as possible. That was the plan for Fulham, and it really did work. Raul Jimenez was excellent. I just don't see a game where Newcastle don't score. If we look at their home record at this moment in time, it is pretty good. They are scoring 2 or more goals in every single game. They've only lost a couple of home games since August, and they were against Barcelona and Arsenal. And in every other game, 7 out of 8 wins, they've scored 2 or more goals at home. They've not drawn a game either. I cannot look past Newcastle for this one. Let me know what you think in the comments. So we're also going to look at the player props tool for this one. We're looking at the last 10 games here. Shots on target percentage showed the amount of times a player actually had a shot on target. Johan Wissa, 70%. Richarlison, 62.5%. Harvey Barnes is the player that I want to flag and show you because his fixtures are very interesting here. We can see a shot on target here is the pink circle with the white number. So he had 1 shot on target, 2 shots against Everton, 2 shots on target and a goal against Marseille, 2 goals and 3 shots on target against Manchester City, and then a goal and a shot on target against Brentford as well. So he is a man in form, and Tottenham's defence is all over the place. And one of the defenders in there is Christian Romero. And to find him, we are going to be looking at fouls per 90. Link in the description if you want to check out this tool as well. And we can see he is just under Joe Linton. I'm skipping these top players because Bissouma has fallen out of love, or he's injured. Kulusevski's injured, Maddison's injured, Solanke's injured. Joe Linton, the odds are going to be like 1.01 because he is a monster in the middle and will commit a foul with his elbow probably. Christian Romero, 9 starts in his last 10 appearances, 1.97 fouls per game. It's a massive test for him and his other defensive compatriots as well, because I think Newcastle will be all over Spurs like a rash. They'll be licking their lips ahead of this one. So here is my bet builder for this game. That's right, I am going with Newcastle for the full-time result. Harvey Barnes to have a shot on target and Romero to commit a foul, 3.2. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Remember, every comment, every prediction for this game is automatically entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. With that is the predictions done now. Let's look at man versus machine and put together a selection for the next 48 hours. So it's time now for man versus machine. This is the bet slip generator. If you're not sure how it works, it takes the OddAlerts probability model and generates bet slips for you. You can add in your target odds. We're going to do 3.65 because that's the odds for our double that's on tonight. And the odds per item, we're going to do 1.2 to 3. Nice and simple. The markets that I have selected, over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals. Let's actually add a home win in there because we are on the home win tonight in Bournemouth. BTTS is on, and the team goals over 0.5 team goals is on as well. I really like that market. You can find some great value bets for that market. We're going to do next 5 days because it is midweek. There isn't many games other than the Premier League. There is a few cup competitions and whatnot, but I have cup competitions disabled in my settings. So let's hit run and see which kind of games we get. We get a game here, we get a double here, 36% value, 3.15 from Thursday and then Saturday. BTTS and an Athletic against Spartans in the Scottish League 2. We can run again. We get 3.13 this time. We get a game that is today from Bulgaria, and then a game in Saturday again as well. So, yeah, as I said, not too many games, and the odds, as I record this on Tuesday, the odds will be coming out for the weekend games in the next few days, next couple of days. Hit run again. We will take the one that we see in this generation. So it is, again, Bulgaria, 2nd Division, and Scottish League 2. This is the selection. We'll have to wait a few days to see how it does, but that is how you use the bet slip generator to find games that match your settings. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, which hopefully will be tomorrow. 1,000 likes is the target.